live. Okay, and hopefully, all being well, we are live.
Yay.
So apologies for the slight delay. That was a me issue that I couldn't hear Tom and I broke it. But we are now live. And I would like to first of all thank Tom for joining me today. So if you're new here, I'm Robin from Hooked by Robin. And this is like legitimate celebrity Tom Daley, Olympic diver.
I mean, it does feel weird actually being like referred to as that, but you know, I basically spend all my time knitting and watching my two little boys.
Speaking of, your little boy, your youngest, is actually poorly today, so we may need to cut this a little short. But I mean,
he's okay. We got the phone call from the school. I swear that's always the dreaded phone call from the school when you're like, oh, your little one has a fever, can you come and grab him? And it always works out on it, you know, on the day that it's, you know, but he's fine. He like seems totally cool, so he's eating and he's chilling, so he's fine.
But still, when little ones are ill, because he's a little one as well,
he's 2.5 or just over 2.5, so it's a little bit more difficult to work around, but he's all good.
It's harder for them to say as well exactly how they're feeling ill-wise, but anyway, my daughter's nearly 25. I don't need to worry about this anymore. She can look after herself. Great.
Oh, yes. I'm sure you miss a little bit, though. I mean, I'm looking forward to the stage where we don't have to. It's much easier to communicate, but then I guess there's other challenges that come with it. So
there are. But by the time they reach 25, they can look after themselves. They're ill. We're golden. It's fine.
Great.
So,
fine.
Anyway, that aside, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for taking the time. We're going to talk. I'm aware we don't have much time, so we're going to talk a bit of knitting, a bit of crochet, and of course, we have to talk about Game of Wool, because whether you have watched it or not, whether you love it, whether you hate it, the internet is wildly divided, and it's incredible. Even if you haven't watched it, you've heard about it. There's no way you're a knitter and a crocheter and you have not heard the words Game of Wool over the last sort of, what's it been, 6-8 weeks of episodes?
Yes, I think that we've had 5 episodes out now so far, or 6. The last episode is on the 21st of December, and so
yeah, we will get to that. First of all, let's rewind a little bit to talking of the internet exploding. You broke the internet with your knitting during the Olympics first time around. First, like, did you ever imagine that just being poolside and doing your hobby, minding your own business, would lead to everything that has come since?
I had no idea. I mean, the whole reason I started knitting in the first place was because my coach told me that I spend too much time running around and doing all of the like stuff on the weekend, and I don't spend enough time sitting still to be rested and recovered enough on a Monday. So it was actually my husband who suggested I start knitting, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go and see how it works. Became obsessed, then taught myself how to crochet, and then taught myself how to do all of, like, in every pattern I did, I tried to incorporate a new skill, a new stitch, a new, you know, texture, yarns, all of that stuff. And then I just became so obsessed with it that and I also think it's my superpower of being able to have something where I can like switch off from everything and not overthink. Like when it's like going into Olympic Games, especially one in Tokyo when there was COVID, like there's so much time to overthink everything when you are thinking about having, you know, how the competitions go, how it's not going to go. We're not allowed to socialize. So knitting was my way of switching off completely.
I mean, I get super nervous before a live stream on YouTube. I am incredibly nervous before these things go live. I'm anxious the whole time it's live. And then when it's done, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was all right. I can't imagine the pressure of the Olympic Games representing your country. It's like it doesn't even compare. I can't imagine.
Yeah, but it does. The thing is, though, it's all, you know, that's the whole thing that I learned going into Tokyo. It's all about perspective. Like whatever you build up the perspective in your mind for this event that you're doing, and no matter how big or small, it's all about perspective. If you're able to gain perspective and think, you know, I had to get to a point where at the Olympics, it was like, no matter how I did, it doesn't matter. I'm not saving any lives. I'm there to enjoy it. I'm there to have fun. It's what I work hard to enjoy and do. Why torture myself through the experience? And I know that my family are going to love me regardless of how I do. So it was actually the first time I felt like I competed extremely free of pressure and expectation that I put on myself. And also I had knitting to be able to get me out of my head when I was starting
going to
go
say,
down that
did knitting play a big part in that? Because it's very therapeutic.
Huge. I mean, I spent all my time knitting on the plane all the way out there. When in between training sessions on poolside, when I was watching, when I was back at the village, like it was my way of really being able to completely switch off from it all.
Yeah. And you mentioned that, see now, not that this is a loaded question, but you mentioned that you knitted first and then you learned how to crochet.
Yes.
And I did ask before this live stream on YouTube and Facebook, if anybody had any questions for you, I might be able to slot them in. Now, I promise I did not pay Andrea to ask this question, but Andrea did ask, how did you learn how to knit and crochet? And did you, by any chance, now I know the answer because I've been dining out on this for years, did you use any Hooked by Robin videos to learn?
Of course I did. You know, it's so funny because now I look back on when I first started to learn to knit and crochet, and I put it on socials before Tokyo. This was like before the like other people might have known in the greater sphere of knitting, if you like. And what I love about the knitting and the crochet community was that everybody is so willing to help, you included, and being able to see those videos and answer questions, and everybody is wanting to give advice and help and, you know, make suggestions. And it felt so warm and open and loving. And I think that's the amazing thing about the craft community, is that everybody's so excited to see craft and see it in new ways. And, you know, I think as I've learned how it might go into a more public sphere, like into a TV show, people have very specific opinions of what they like to knit and what they like to crochet. And some people, obviously it's a true passion project for many people. And I just bloody love knitting and crochet. And my style is probably very different to other people's style, but I also see it as my way of being able to switch off and relax. And sometimes I like to knit things for me. Sometimes I like to crochet things for other people. Sometimes I crochet random accessories for myself. And I think that's something that I've really enjoyed, is being able to experiment and do the thing and make things. I mean, the beauty of being able to make things by hand is that you dream it up and you can make it.
Yeah, I mean, I do love that. I mean, the internet has opened up. I mean, I learned how to crochet on the internet. A very good friend of mine, Tonya, she did try to teach me how to knit, and I can sort of knit. I can knit and I can purl, but I do, having learned crochet first, I don't have the patience for knitting because it is so much slower. And also I think because I wasn't immediately brilliant at it, I have a certain level of expectation now that I should, because I can crochet, I should obviously be able to knit. But it's watching Game of Wool, because originally I wasn't going to watch it because I was like, well, I'm not a knitter, I'm not going to watch it. And I only put it on because I knew I was going to be chatting to you. And I thought, well, I better do my homework. I better watch the first episode. And it kind of I've weirdly really enjoyed it. And I'm not a knitter. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of opinions about the show. Fine. And especially on the internet, opinions can be very loud. I think we could. But I've stuck with it with Game of Wool, and I'm taking it at face value because it's an entertainment program, and I think people came into it with such high expectations, and when those individual expectations aren't met, I think people have reacted I find it quite fascinating how I've reacted. How have you found the sort of controversy around Game of Wool, or have you very much kept your head down and just you're not looking?
Yeah, I mean, I see it all. I think there's lots of things. First, they, you know, addressing how, you know, lots of people are upset that it was a man hosting the show. But I don't think people realize going into it that I have nothing to do with the judging of it. I'm literally just there as a host. And the host could be somebody that knew about knitting or someone that didn't know anything about knitting. And it just so happened that, yes, this show kind of came up and it seemed like it would be a good fit for me because knitting is a, you know, passion of mine. And at least I could set the challenges and actually know some of the language around how to explain things. But yeah, I mean, I think people initially it was going to be strictly knitting. And I think it was important. Well, I felt like it was important that it included not just knitting, but also crochet. And the show was designed for, of course, for people who love knit and crochet, but it's also to try and just open up the world of knitting and crochet and the possibilities of what it can do and can be. And of course, there's incredible heritage within knitting, and it's about, but this is a competition show. You know, I'm sure, I don't know what happened at the beginning with Bake Off, but of course, there's certain challenges that would take way longer if you had more time to do it. And there are certain ways that people do it, but it's all, for me, it was about spreading the love of knitting, trying to get as many people to, you know, and crochet, and being able to spread the love of that and spread the joy that it brings for people that are so passionate about doing whatever they do with their 2 sticks or a hook. You know, they're ready to kind of make anything. And the creativity within the show has blown me away of what people were able to come up with and do and achieve in, you know, as little as 8 or as much as 12 hours to do some of these challenges. And it's been incredible. And I think, you know, I know people will have certain opinions, whether they hate it or whether they love it. It's kind of like Marmite, if you like, but it's
I mean, people are still talking about it though, right?
I mean,
regardless.
The ratings are showing that people are watching it. So whether they're watching it to rage about it or watching it to rave about it, whether you're raging or raving about it, we appreciate the, you know, that people are starting to get behind Game of War. You know,
I do think, in fairness, it has improved. I think the last episode, I don't want to give too many spoilers because obviously not everyone is in the UK, and there can be a bit of delay with people getting to watch it. But this week, the lace, now I'm not a knitter. I don't know the first thing about lace. That, to me, the lace challenge felt like the first real, like, tangible, yes, so everybody has the same pattern, everybody has the same time period, everybody, and how it was judged. I felt like the judging was really clear, because I'm saying I've enjoyed the show, that I do feel there are bits of rage bait in there, which I am definitely leaning towards. And I have to say, it's with the judging. I disagree with the judging every single week. I shout at the telly, but to me, that shows that I care enough about the program that I have an opinion.
I struggled with that too, if that's helpful. Like, you know,
I was going to say, Lucy on Facebook did ask, is there anything that, because just to clarify for all the people that are angry about the show, you are not a producer of the show. You're not an editor of the show. You have no say. You are just the face, the host. Yes. Right? I don't think we can level too many things at your.
No, but that's the thing though. Like, it is something that, this is just the first series. If we're lucky enough to get a second one, there's so many incredible learnings that we've had from this first series. Like and also being able to, I think, like you say, it was really interesting to have a technical where like everybody has the same pattern. You can directly compare exactly the same thing. But
and I feel like I learned something, and how it was actually judged. It was really clear, because I think I get frustrated with the judging sometimes, because I feel sometimes it's just vibes they're going on. I'm not sure. It's not whether it's in the edit or what. But I mean, Lucy did ask if you had ever disagreed privately. Obviously, you're not going to say publicly with the judges as well, like I have.
Yeah, I can't say, like, I obviously have different things that I like compared to what Di and Sheila like, and everybody has a completely different opinion of what they think is good, especially because each of the contestants are going in there with what they think is the winning design and the winning make. They're not going to go in there thinking, oh, I'm going to make this but it's probably not going to be very good. You go in there with what you consider your taste to be your favorite thing to make. So of course, everybody's going to have a different opinion on that. And, you know, is it more weighed into the specific brief where it's, you know, about the stitch and the texture and the design? Because in one of the recent weeks around texture, there was a little bit of like, you know, there was a mistake that was made, but because of the week that it was and the fact that it was all about texture, it kind of didn't matter as much.
Is this inside out cardigan?
Yes.
Speaking of the contestants, they really all seem like a really lovely bunch. They're really, I haven't seen a single thing online with whatever anyone's been saying. No one is leveling any criticism at the contestants at all. I think they're such a lovely bunch, and they all help each other out. Like, going back to that whole community aspect, like you say, of knitters and crocheters online, in person, they are just so ready to drop and help the other people. Which I think, because it's a competition.
Yeah, it is a competition, but it really does have that sense of community within it even still. And, you know, it's like when you draw comparisons to like Bake Off, like when you're in the tent, obviously there's high pressure. There's like all of these different things that you have to do and get done. And a TV show is going to edit it in a way that makes it really intense and have jeopardy and things that are going right, going wrong. And they can't show every single detail because, I mean, like you say, the challenges are 12 hours. And, you know, and it's funny because although the judging is cut down to such a small amount of time, each of those challenges are judged for about 2.5 hours in the barn. And it gets cut down to 2.5 minutes. So there are so
my beef is with the editors then, is what I'm hearing.
Well, no, I mean, it's also like, how do you get 2 12-hour challenges plus all of the history, plus all of the stuff into a 47-minute program? It's incredibly challenging, especially at the very beginning when you have 10 contestants. But I think that's why people have enjoyed it more going on, is that there's more time to actually dig into the roots of things and explain things a little bit more. And that only gets more and more. And we shot so much stuff in the meantime while it was actually being filmed, to try and get all of that in. Which is now being put on our Let's Get Knitting YouTube channel to try and to kind of get more of that out. But it's, you know, to be honest, I had the most fun doing it. Like, you can imagine just being surrounded by knit and crochet and seeing what people are able to come up with and design. It was so much fun. So like,
most of us are on our own in our own houses. It's very rare you get together to spend it's like a mega yarn retreat you were on basically for 8 weeks, right?
It was. And like the amazing thing is that I've had so many messages on Instagram of like families watching it with their kids, and then their kids wanting to learn, and even watching it with Robbie. I taught Robbie to knit last weekend. So like he now knows how to knit. He knows how to be able to like do all of his he only learned how to cast on and then knit. He hasn't cast off or anything, but
I've not got much further than that, to be fair, and I'm 43, so
but like, it's nice to like, it is, of course there's people who are serious knitters and crocheters are going to see flaws in a show that's about the thing that they love, especially because it's an incredibly niche thing. So as soon as it's opened up to something else, it's like all of a sudden they're not the most niche thing. So there's that as well. I hear little footsteps.
Oh, are these little Paulie footsteps coming in?
He's coming in with a ball. But yeah. So it is one of those things where I think it's learnings from that, really.
Yeah.
You okay? Yeah.
So I'm just, whilst you do that, I'm scrolling. I did take some notes to try. I do have notes. To be honest, I always throw them out the window. I do this every time. I prepare and then I'm like, do you know what? Let's just wing it. Let's just wing it.
It's way sometimes.
So there were a few comments have been made, I think, about your outfits. Now, I personally absolutely love what you wear every single week. Part of my favorite bit of the show is, what is Tom going to be wearing? Because I just love how out there all the outfits are. And I know some people get upset, but I love it. It's so much fun. And I feel like it's a really British thing as well to bring fun through that sort of medium.
That's part of the fun. And like, you know, it's like, some of it's over the top, but it's also showing what on earth you can do with knit and crochet. Lots of people think, oh, it's just like a random like sweater. No, you can do all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different textures, all kinds of different fibers. And, you know, you think back to like initially, like even with things like the Traitors and what Claudia wears, and if you watch the US version, what Alan Cummings wears, like, is part of it is that's the only way that I can have kind of any kind of expressive part of the show. And I think it's fun to be able to do it. And, you know, if it's like you said, if people get interested in coming into the show and be like, what's Tom going to wear this week? That's kind of all part of the bit, really.
I mean, that was just my alarm letting me know that I know we have a short amount of time, so I'm trying to squeeze in much, because I talk way too much. But I am probably the only person in the UK that has never seen Traitors. I've never. I know you were on it. Did you win? I don't even know.
I can't say that. But one thing I will say is, if you do ever have like a period of time where you're like, you just want to sit down and watch something and like get into something, you've got a period of time, like, on a plane or whatever it is a great show to download and watch. Like, I'm a huge fan of the show, so it's
that shows the difference between our lifestyles. You are thinking when you're on a plane, and I'm thinking when I'm sat on my butt on my own sofa, because when do I ever get a plane anywhere? Tom, come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the only time when I get to sit down and watch TV. I know, but that's the only time I get to sit and watch TV is when I'm on a plane. Like, in the meantime, like we're at the stage now. Robbie is 7 and Phoenix is 2.5. So by the time they get into bed at 7:30, I'm soon after them at 8. I just can't do it. So that
gets better when they get older as well. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
that gets better.
Robbie's good. Like, if Robbie was around, it's fine. Like, you know, Phoenix is a little bit more. Luckily, he's playing with trains. Well, he's now decided he's playing trains. I thought he was going to be watching the Minions, but he's actually playing with trains currently and a ball. So
if at any point you need to go, right, we can cut. There is a little button up there that I can press at any moment, which will just
I know, you're good. All good.
So let me just make sure. Let's have a look. Am I covering what I wanted to ask? Okay, so here's a question.
Yes.
Can you confirm or deny, or feel free to completely pass on this question? Is there a second series commissioned?
Oh,
you can just remain mysterious if you don't know. I've seen rumors on Reddit.
Rumors that it has or that it hasn't.
That it has.
Oh,
that we're looking at a second season now. Like, if we can move on from this question.
Well, if it has, I haven't been told.
You're not the host. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I've already been working to try and figure out like a way to get. You okay, Bob? What happened? Did you drop the ball? Did you fall down?
Oh no, you dropped the ball.
Are you okay? Did you
land on your bum?
You land on your bum bum? Oh. Papa's going to be 2 minutes. Cuddle. Okay, come on, cuddle. Cuddle, Papa.
I'm always landing on my bum bum. It's very awful.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been told. So if it has, then great. But I don't think it is.
Okay, well, so
I don't think it is. I hope it is. I was told that we wouldn't find out until just before the finale because
I'm getting my information from Reddit. I mean, who knows? I could start any rumor on there, to be honest. And there's no confirming or denying. I just wanted to.
No, it's all good. It's but like we've already got over 4 million viewers from the first episode online. Like that's
incredible.
Based on ratings, it performed apparently something like 34% better than the slot average.
Wow. Okay. Well, fingers crossed.
It's all pointing in a good direction. So we'll see.
I'd definitely like to see more for sure.
And like now, and also there's so many things that we can learn to do new and better and different. You know. So
I mean, it's not lacking for feedback, right? I think.
Exactly. Oh, funny.
Well, are you good for another minute or two?
Yeah, let's do a couple more minutes, and then I'll go in because it's right around nap time for our little Bubba, isn't it?
I'm also like I'm super aware. I want to like try and like his privacy, but of course I can't.
I mean, I made sure that it was the back of his head, or from what I can see on here anyway.
Yeah. So I have a couple of questions which we can just jump into.
Great.
So because I keep losing my train of thought, to be honest, and I'm going to wander off and we're going to talk all sorts of nonsense.
All good.
So Trevor on YouTube asked a question which I would be really interested to hear. He was essentially saying, I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write it all down, but he's essentially saying he's a man, he knits, he has real inhibitions when it comes to knitting in public. And how did you overcome knitting in public? Because there's no one more public than at the Olympics.
I honestly just never even thought that it would be an issue to knit in public. So I was just like, I'm just going to knit. Like, I didn't even think about it, that it being a problem at all. And it wasn't really until other people were like, oh, like, I feel like people just used to see knitting as like a grandma thing. And actually, like, there's so many people that knit. And I think knitting in public is like reading a book. Like, what's the difference between reading a book in public and knitting in public? Like,
I mean, it depends on the book though, right?
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't know if like you can watch like I don't know if you can read like a 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know if that's like
there's some dubious books out there that
exactly.
are pretty trendy at the moment. I'm not sure I could be sitting there with my
as long as it's not an audio book out loud, it's fine, right? Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And then we'll wrap it up because obviously little Phoenix, he's going to be desperate for your attention anyway.
He's going to be ready for his nap now, I think.
I know we've sort of talked around it a lot, and obviously this is quite a short little segment that we're doing, but Made for Daisy wanted to know, were there any standout moments for you hosting the show? Because you've never hosted a show before.
No.
So, how was this whole experience for you personally?
I mean, it was amazing. It was freezing in that yarn barn, I will say that. So we managed to cover that pretty well because it was absolutely freezing.
Doesn't show.
Yeah, good. But it was, I mean, it was so much fun. Like just being able to get to immerse myself in in knitting and in crochet for that amount of time was just so much. What did you do now, Bubba? Did you jam your finger? Oh, let me give it.
Oh, he's not having a good day, bless him.
Cuddle, bless him. He's riding his scooter inside the house. That's probably what it is. Oh, bless him. But yeah, no, it's like, it was so much fun just being able to have the judges around to ask questions. All of you just learn so much from just being around people that have different knitting and crochet styles to you. So it was really special, actually. I hope to get to do it again.
Well, fingers crossed. If we believe Reddit, you may.
Okay, good. Well, let's believe Reddit.
Yeah. Oh, that's my journalistic sources. There is one random person on Reddit.
I know. Yeah, fingers crossed that person on Reddit is correct, and maybe they're from inside Channel 4.
Yeah, but possibly. Well, listen, we're gonna, obviously, Little Phoenix, he's not very well.
Playing the piano now. He's all over the place.
If we just wrap this up, I really appreciate you coming on. I know this isn't quite how we planned it, with technical issues in the beginning, and obviously Little Phoenix
part
being
of the fun, and we'll do it again. We'll make sure we do it again. He's gone from the piano to now playing the drums, so if you hear that in the background, that's now what's happening.
Well, I'm really sorry to everybody in the chat as well that I have completely ignored all of you. Hopefully you have asked questions that then went on to be answered unintentionally anyway. And
we'll do it again. We'll do it again another time as well when both of the boys are at school. I don't know if you can hear the drums in the background.
Oh, we can, yeah. It's adding to it. It's real life, right? And family comes first. Little Phoenix is way more important than coming on some random YouTube channels about yarn. Let's be honest. So thank you to everyone who has in the chat. As I say, apologies for completely ignoring all of you. Thank you very much to Tom for giving up precious time, being a busy man that you are. And I think that's it from me for this side of Christmas as well. So I will see everybody in the new year. Tom will see you next Sunday at 8 on Channel 4.
Next Sunday at 8, Channel 4.
And I have linked as well to all your socials and the Let's Get Knitting channel and everything that we didn't get to cover in this chat because I'm so disorganized. Underneath this video is links where you can find everything that... Right, I think that's our cue. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. So thank you so much. Did you have any closing words?
I feel like we're having our musical outro now. That's what that is going on. Oh, there you go.
All right, I'm gonna hit the end stream button.
Great.
But thank you so much for joining.
Thank
you.
All right,
bye.
Bye.